He was terrified of being alone his entire life. But the one thing that never left him, he never once looked at. Story. Theo was a man addicted to tomorrow. Not out of hope, out of restlessness. A chase that never ended, never rewarded, never stopped. Every morning he woke up already behind. Every night he slept, feeling like the day had swallowed him whole and left nothing behind. Life was a blur of alarms, deadlines, crowded streets, and silent dinners. The world around him was deafening. Honking cars, ringing phones, people calling his name from every direction. But inside it was painfully quiet. Because no matter how much he achieved, something deep within him kept whispering the same words. It's not enough. You are not enough. So he kept running. And in all that running, he never once looked down. If he had, he would have noticed the one thing that never abandoned him. His shadow. The shadow lived a life no one could see. When Theo stood tall in bright offices, the shadow was crushed beneath strangers' feet. When rain fell and Theo ran for shelter, the shadow was dragged through mud and shattered across puddles. When the world applauded Theo, the shadow sat alone in the dark corners of every room. And yet, it never left. No complaints, no demands, no goodbye. It simply stayed. Then, one evening, everything changed. It was the kind of rain that slows the whole world down. Theo stood beneath a dim street lamp, shoulders heavy, eyes hollow. His briefcase slipped from his fingers, and for the first time in longer than he could remember, he didn't rush to pick it up. He just stood there, breathing. Then something felt wrong. He lifted his hand, but the shadow didn't move. Theo froze. Slowly, he looked down, and for the first time in his life, he truly saw it. The shadow wasn't just a shape anymore, it stood slightly apart. Not following, not copying, just existing, still, separate, present. And in that stillness, Theo saw something he never expected. Exhaustion. A deep, ancient tiredness. The kind that comes from giving everything and receiving nothing. From being present for every single moment of someone's life, and never once being acknowledged. His chest tightened. All this time, he thought. All this time, I thought I was alone. But here it was, a silent companion, present for every stumble, every fall, every moment he thought no one was watching. And he had never, not once, noticed. I didn't know, he whispered. The shadow said nothing. It didn't need to, because in that moment, Theo understood something that no achievement, no applause, no crowded room had ever taught him. He was never truly alone. Something had always been there, holding him, even when he was falling apart. He slowly knelt down, rain soaking through his clothes, and pressed his hand gently to the ground. I'm sorry. The words were quiet, but they were heavy with years. I was so busy chasing everything out there that I forgot what was already here. The shadow didn't move, but somehow it felt lighter. Because sometimes being seen is enough to heal years of silence. From that night on, Theo still moved forward, but not the same way. He slowed down. He noticed things. He noticed people. The quiet friend who always picked up the phone, never asking why he was calling so late. The parents who never once asked for a thank you. The colleague who covered for him without mentioning it. The small, unseen kindnesses woven into every ordinary day. And sometimes, when the light fell just right, he would look down at his shadow and smile. Because he finally understood the truth that most people only learn too late. You don't need a crowd to prove you're not alone. The ones who matter most are often the ones who never ask to be seen. We spend our lives running toward the light, success, recognition, applause, believing that one day it will finally make us feel whole. But in chasing the brightness, we forget the shadows, the silent supporters, the unseen sacrifices, the people who stay not because they have to, but because they simply do. And the tragic thing, they don't leave loudly. They don't argue. They don't demand. They don't issue warnings. They just slowly fade. One day, the calls stop. The messages go unanswered. The room feels a little emptier than it did before. And in that silence, a thought begins to echo. There were people who held me together. And I never even said thank you. Theo learned what so many of us only realize when it's already too late. Loneliness isn't always about having no one. Sometimes it's about ignoring the ones who are always there. So before life teaches you this the hard way, pause. Look around. Notice the people who never ask for attention. The ones who show up quietly without expectation. The ones who stay even when you have nothing to give, because those are your real pillars. Those are your shadows. Light may help you shine in front of the world, but it is the shadows that stay with you when the world goes dark. Don't wait for distance to teach you value. Don't wait for absence to teach you love. Because by the time you turn around and say, I see you, I appreciate you, they might not be there anymore, and nothing hurts more than realizing you were never truly alone. You were just too busy to notice. So look down, look around. Say it now while you still can.